I moved to Pomona, California and became fluent in Spanish. Let me explain. I'm like many Mexican Americans in the United States, born to 2 Latino American parents, but my first language is English. I felt not Mexican enough for the other Latinos I grew up around. This feeling is what fueled me to learn Spanish on my own. From Duolingo, Link, to Hello Talk, then Tandem, I made countless mistakes along the way. I was scolded because I sounded gringo when I spoke Spanish. It wasn't until I moved to Pomona where my Spanish went from basic to honestly better than most first-generation Latinos whose parents actually spoke to them in Spanish. Es porque esta edición yo puedo hablar como así ahorita. Make sure you stay for the entire video, because if you skip ahead, you will miss out on each lesson I give that got me to this level of Spanish. When I first initially got here, the first thing I noticed was, damn, there's a lot of Mexicans here. I thought to myself, man, I better start acting my race, because I looked the part, but deep down, I did not feel as Mexican. Prior to this move, I only listened to Spanish music, which helped me actually have the confidence to speak Spanish in this area. What this did was, it changed my cognitive thinking and interpretation of who I was, without even realizing it. I would write in my journal in just Spanish. But what helped the most was when I got a job at the gym. During my interview, I told them that I spoke Spanish. This got me the job and ultimately tested my Spanish, because now I had to sell memberships in Spanish. The Mexicans that would come into the gym automatically thought my parents were from Mexico, porque cuando estaba hablando con la gente, estaba hablando como así. But when I actually opened up to them about my story and how I learned Spanish on my own, they were impressed, which also led me to get more sales. Despite the praise I received, I was still judged. One day, an older Latina woman walked up to the desk and she started automatically speaking to me in Spanish, like really fast though. Like, even if she was speaking English, I wouldn't have understood her because she was speaking like so fast. That day I was tired, I was caught off guard, and I didn't have energy for it, so she just moved on to my coworker who also spoke Spanish. And during their conversation, she looked at my coworker and was like, and said to him, "Él no puede hablar español," and she was referring to me. Despite countless hours and years of studying, I was still treated like I wasn't Mexican enough. I felt inadequate. While I felt like shit, this moment was actually a turning point in my life. It made me realize that your own people may always hate you, even if you learn on your own. This just motivated me to just keep speaking the language, to not only prove to others, but most importantly, to prove to myself that I do speak Spanish at such a high level that people think I am first generation Mexican. After living in Pomona for over 9 months, I ultimately decided to just move back home. Living there gave me a perspective of how much your environment shapes who you are. The fact that I was surrounded by more Latinos just made me even more Latino than I initially was before I moved to Pomona. Now learning Spanish, or maybe even passively listening, like listening to music, watching shows, it's just a lifestyle for me. It's just a part of who I am. And despite living at home where there's predominantly just a white population, I still make the initiative to speak Spanish to people, to listen to music and to watch shows and to keep learning, because in the end of the day, if you stop learning, you will lose the language. And it's a part of who you are as well. It's important to not forget about your roots. If you have the opportunity to live in a city where you're predominantly surrounded by other Latinos or Spanish speakers, where you are forced to actually know Spanish, or it's helpful to know Spanish, then do it, because it'll change your life. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, tell me specifically what you actually enjoyed, because I actually read through the comments, as many comments as possible. Follow me on Instagram, click here to watch this video, subscribe if you're new, do what you do for you, haz lo que haz por ti. Adios, my friends, ciao.